We are all familiar with the rains. Its pitter-patter sound over the rooftops and on the roads. It does give us a thrilling and nostalgic feeling, right? But have you ever seen how these raindrops all come together? Like in the city, when they fall on the roof, they may accumulate in rainwater harvesting tanks, or they may seep into the soil and become part of the underground water. But if you imagine this on a much larger scale, like when it rains in the mountains, the water runs off and forms small water streams. These small water streams merge together to form a bigger water stream, which then drains into large water bodies like the lakes, seas, or the oceans. This large water stream, formed by several smaller water streams, is called a river. We can define a river as any natural stream of water that flows in a channel with defined banks. Now, generally, a river along its path is joined by other rivers or streams. These streams that make up the river are called tributaries. The main river, along with all of its tributaries together, forms a river system. When a river, along with its tributaries, drains an area, it affects that area in many ways. Vegetation, agricultural patterns, and human settlements can all be affected by this. The area drained by a river and its tributaries is called a drainage basin. Some of the well-known drainage basins around the world are the Mississippi Drainage Basin, the Nile Drainage Basin, and the Congo Drainage Basin. The Amazon Drainage Basin, with an area that stretches over a whopping 7 million square kilometers, is the largest drainage basin in the world. In India, the river Ganga forms the largest drainage basin. These drainage basins can go through some interesting changes over time. Supposing this point here is the source of water. Now, due to some geological event, this entire area gets elevated. Hence, water starts flowing in two directions. This leads to the formation of two separate drainage basins. This elevated area, such as a mountain or an upland that separates two drainage basins, is known as a water divide. For example, the Great Divide in North America divides the drainage basin of rivers draining in the Pacific from those draining in the Arctic, Atlantic, and the Gulf of Mexico. Rivers, a life-giving gift of nature to humans. Just like humans have a journey of life, rivers too have a journey. Want to know what it looks like? Well, let's dive right in and find out. Rivers usually flow from a place that has a relatively higher altitude to a place having a lower altitude. Their journey is very similar to that of the humans. The journey of a river has three stages: youthful, mature, and old stage. These stages are also called upper course, middle course, and lower course. Now, in its youthful stage, or in the upper course, the river is full of energy and power. There is vertical erosion observed at this stage because of the sheer power of the water cutting the rocks in a vertical fashion. Mostly, erosional landforms are created in this stage. For example, gorges, valleys, and waterfalls are formed in this stage. The river a huge amount of silt and sand in this stage. In the mature stage or the middle course of the river, the flow is relatively slower than in the youthful stage. The erosion observed is on the sides of the river, unlike vertical erosion, which is dominant in the upper reaches. Some erosional as well as some depositional landforms can be observed in this stage. For example, oxbow lakes, meanders, and floodplains are common landforms in this stage. As the river nears the end of its journey, or the old stage or lower course, it also loses a lot of its bustling, youthful energy. Now in this stage, the river flows very slowly and calmly. Mainly, deposition is observed in this stage. The huge amount of sand and silt carried by the river from the upper course is deposited in this stage. Most of the landforms created due to the river in its lower course are hence depositional landforms. Deltas are some of the most common depositional landforms observed at this stage.